Salut les gars, aujourd'hui je vous présente Bebit, un appareil qui remplace le ordinateur sur scène. Bebit est autonome et dispose de 6 sorties de pistes d'accompagnement multipistes. Transmet des messages MIDI, utiles pour la synchronisation pédale et patch, ou pour gérer les lumières sur scène. Il dispose d'un port HDMI pour un moniteur et pour synchroniser la vidéo et la musique. Avec Bebit, vous pouvez programmer votre spectacle avec des pistes d'accompagnement, une piste de clic, une vidéo, des lumières et des commandes MIDI. Tout cela à partir d'un seul appareil sans l'ordinateur.
This device is super cool and it's definitely something that I've been looking for a while. And I figured this was something that you guys could definitely be interested in. But it blew my mind that this existed, and I reached out to the company to see if they were interested in having me do a dedicated review on it. And they agreed, so they sent it to me to check out. It's not a paid video or anything like that. All the opinions are my own, but I'll just give you a spoiler alert. This thing is, check this out. Okay, so you do
Nous
need to download
téléchargeons
some
d'abord le
software.
logiciel
You want to
Bebit
go to this
Manager que vous
website,
pouvez trouver dans le lien dans la description.
m-live.com/en/b-beat. I will link to that down below. And you scroll down to the bottom where it says Beat
Ensuite,
Manager,
vous
and
vous
you download
connectez
it for
avec un
Windows
câble
or for
Ethernet de
Mac.
Bebit à
Now,
votre
once you have the
PC,
software
ou
installed,
sans
you
fil
can
avec
either
l'antenne Wi-Fi.
connect to it with Ethernet, so you can connect Ethernet from the BB to your computer, which is one option. But if you have this wireless
Dans ce
pendrive
cas,
here, which
allez
is
dans
awesome,
Réglages
you
et
can do
appuyez
this
sur ce bouton.
wirelessly actually. So you do have to go into the settings, which you push this button,
Sélectionnez
go
Réseau,
to
puis
network,
activez Hotspot.
and then enable the hotspot. And
Connectez
then what
maintenant
happens
Bebit à
is
votre
on your
ordinateur.
computer, you're able to connect to it just like any other wireless device or Wi-Fi device. So I'm going to go to my Wi-Fi, and you can see it found
Depuis le
BBeat, and I'm going
PC,
to connect
je
to it
passe en
that way.
Wi-Fi.
If it asks
Quand
for
il
a
trouve Bebit, je
password,
me
the
connecte.
password at first is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Le
8.
mot de passe
So
est
once you are
1, 2, 3,
connected to
4,
that,
5, 6,
open
7,
the
8.
BBeat Manager. Sometimes you have to start the search.
Ouvrez maintenant
Sometimes it'll
Bebit
just find it.
Manager
Once
et
you
appuyez
found it,
sur
hit
Connect.
connect, and now you are in, and you can see on your device that you are now
Sur Bebit,
connected.
la connexion active.
Okay, so once you are in here, it's going to look
Sur
kind of
la
like this.
capture
Now, I
d'écran,
already have
vous
some
trouverez cette
files in here
image.
that I've been messing around with, but you probably won't have anything in here.
Lors de la première
Just a
mise
few
sous
things before you
tension,
start.
un
Go up
exemple de
here to your
fichier est
settings,
présent sur Bebit.
and you can set the language to English if
Sélectionnez
it's not
maintenant la langue
currently in
d'utilisation du
English. So you can
logiciel
set to
en haut à
another
droite
language
sur
if you want,
Paramètres,
and another
choisissez
language as
votre
well.
langue.
Okay, so again, you're going to see nothing in here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just create a new audio project. And
Vous
this is
pouvez
where you
maintenant
start
créer un nouveau
importing
projet
all
audio.
the stuff that you need: audio, media, MIDI,
Ici,
and
vous pouvez
PDF. So
importer
I'm just going to do
audio,
audio
média,
right now.
MIDI et
You can either
PDF.
drag files or you can just click here and load it. All right, so here's a track that I've been working on. This is I Write
Pour
Songs Not
l'instant, je ne
Tragedies.
télécharge que
And I'm
l'audio.
just going to open up all
Vous
5 of
pouvez
these.
glisser-déposer un fichier ou
And you can
cliquer et
see
le
it's logged them
télécharger.
all in: bass, click, cues, drums, and tracks. I'll show
La
you
branche doigt que
media,
j'utilise,
MIDI, and
j'écris des
PDF here in a
péchés,
little bit.
pas
I
des
think it's
tragédies de
actually
Panic
easier
at the
just to do it
Disco.
this way. So I'm going to hit transfer to Beat. Also,
J'ouvre les
I should have
5
mentioned
pistes
you give the
basse,
project
clic,
name up
lead
here first.
vocal,
It'll
drum et tracks.
automatically fill in for me based on the folder that I imported from. You should probably give it a
Et
name
puis,
as you
je clique
start.
sur
And it's going
Transfert
to take a little bit
TOBBAT.
of time, but this is going
Vous
to be
pouvez nommer
used to
votre
get your
projet ci-dessus.
backing tracks ready. That's what we're going to do first. Okay,
Toutes
so
les
now you
pistes
can
sont
see that they're
chargées.
all loaded up here. And here's what you want to do is you want
Vous
to
pouvez
start
affecter chaque
assigning them
piste à
to
sa famille.
families. Now, this is really smart. It already has click
Le clic est
assigned as a
automatiquement
family for my
affecté à une
click track.
sortie
All right,
dédiée.
since not tragedies dash click. So it automatically assigned this to this one. But what you're going to do, so let's go to this first one. It says no family right here. I'm going to click
Les
this,
pistes peuvent
and you're
être
going
attribuées
to
à des
add a
familles.
new
Cliquez là
family,
où il est écrit Pas de famille.
which I've already done. So I've done that for a couple of these. So you have click, guide voice are the two that it gives you automatically. And then the tracks that I do is I have bass,
Les familles
tracks, which
clic
is
et
just
guide
like
voice sont
everything
créées
else, and
automatiquement.
then drums. You might have bass, drums, keys,
Dans cet
something else,
exemple, je crée les
however you
familles
want to
basses,
do it. But you
drum et
just want to give
miscellaneous track.
families in here. So this one is the bass line. So I'm going to assign this to the
Pour chaque
bass. And
piste
it
qui
does
compose la
automatically
piste
color to it, which
d'accompagnement,
is really
j'attribue une
nice.
famille.
So this one is the click, which it
Cela
automatically
peut
assigned
m'aider
to the
pour
click.
certaines
Very smart
opérations,
about
par
that, which is
exemple le
awesome.
mute.
So a few
Maintenant,
things
je vous
here.
montre quelques
You have a
options.
couple of options right here.
De
So
là,
this one
vous
is
accrochez et
link or
décrochez les
unlink. So when
curseurs
they're
pour
linked, the
gérer les
left and
volumes
right
stéréo.
cube go together, and when you unlink them, you can do them
Ensuite,
separately.
il y a la
This is
fonction
mute.
mute et solo.
This is solo. And
Si le
this is an
casque est
awesome
activé,
option. If
la
it's
piste
enabled,
sera lue à
it will
partir de la
go
sortie
out the
Bebit dédiée.
headphone out of the B-Beat port that
Avec
says
cette
phones,
fonction,
and if
vous
it's
pouvez
not
attribuer un
enabled,
guidage
it will
vocal à la
not go
sortie
out. So
casque.
what you
Vous
could
disposez
do
donc
with
de 6
this
sorties
is you
pour les
could
pistes,
just
tandis que les
route
voix de clic
guide
et de
voice or
guidage sortent
cues
vers la
and the
sortie casque.
click out just the headphone, which is pretty awesome because then you have 6 separate outputs
Ainsi,
for
votre
tracks,
batteur
and
n'entendra que
then
le
your
clic
click
et
and
la voix
cues just drop the
principale.
headphone out if, for example, you just want your drummer
Dans
to
ce cas,
hear
je
just the
les
click
assigne
and
ici.
cues or something like that.
Si vous
But now
utilisez
what
des
you want to
fichiers
do is you want to
stéréo,
start
vous
routing
devrez
them
acheminer
here.
les
If
pistes
you are
vers deux
doing a
sorties.
stereo file, you would
J'assigne
click
la
here
piste
and I
basse
would
à 1 et
say,
2,
okay, so bass, I'm going to have it go out 1 and
tandis que
2,
j'affecte la
right?
batterie à 3 et
And then
4.
drums would go out 3 and 4
En fait,
if I
j'utilise
was
les
doing
pistes en mono.
stereo outputs, right? However, all of mine are actually mono. So the way that you create these into monos, you click this button right here, and it's going to say, do you want to split the stereo tracks into mono?
Avec ce
I'm going to say
bouton, vous
yes, and
pouvez
now he
créer deux
has my
pistes
left
mono à
and my
partir
right
d'une piste
separated,
stéréo.
and I'm just going to delete one of them.
Ainsi, le
Just in
système
mono.
divise
And
la
I'm
piste
actually going to do
stéréo en
that for
deux et j'en
all of
supprime
these
une.
because all of my tracks are in mono, especially, click and cues. I
Maintenant,
obviously do
je suis
not
la même
need
procédure
those
pour
to
toutes
be
les
in
pistes.
stereo. You could have bass, click, and cues in mono, but drums and tracks could be in stereo. So that is an option as well. Again, I'm just doing all in mono for
Vous
my
pouvez avoir
personal
basse,
setup. Do
clic
what
et
works
guide-voix en
best for
mono,
you
tandis
and
que
your
drum et
setup.
track en
So now
stéréo.
you need to assign each of these stems to go out which port of the B beat because you have
Vous
6
devez
separate
maintenant assigner
outputs.
chacun
So
de
now
ces
you're going to
stems à
route
l'une
them
des 6 sorties
properly.
Bebit.
This is the way that I have my tracks routed. I always do drums out number 1, bass goes out output 2.
Je règle toujours la batterie sur la sortie 1.
Tracks goes out number 4. 3 is saved for something different.
Le
And
bass
again,
sort de
this
la
is just the
sortie
way
2.
that I do it. You will assign them to whatever
Les
you
pistes mixtes
want.
sortent de
Click
4.
goes out 5.
Je
And
garde la
if I
sortie 3
want
libre.
them to be routed to the headphone out, I would enable them here. Okay, so now I have it all hooked up. I have all of these routed
Le
going
clic
to
sort
my
au numéro
mixer.
5.
Channel 1 goes to channel 1, channel 2
Et
to
puis les guides
channel
en voix
2, and so on
s'assissent.
and so forth. And then I just have this plugged in so you guys can hear what is happening. This is the
Et
mixing
bien
app that is
maintenant, tout est
controlling my
branché
mixer
sur
so
ma
you
table
guys
de
can see what's
mixage.
happening. And you guys can hear what's happening. So I'm going to bring everything down just to start. And I'm going to scroll down on the BB. We're doing the Panic of the Disco
C'est
song, so I'm going to click
l'application qui
play.
contrôle
And
ma
you can see
table
I'm
de
getting a
mixage.
signal here.
À Batou, et dans la section librairie de
Actually, let
Bebit,
me start it
je
over.
cherche la chanson.
I write sins, not tragedies.
J'appuie
Hear the
sur
tracks.
PLY, et comme vous pouvez le voir, j'obtiens
I'm
le
gonna
signal
click,
sur la table de
turn up
mixage.
the tracks. Let me fast forward to a part that has drums. There's bass.
Voici les pistes mélangées.
There's not many tracks in this one.
Je baisse le clic, et j'augmente les
Get to
pistes
the, like,
mixtes.
verse 2. There you go. So I can,
J'avance
turn
rapidement
up
vers
and
une
down the
section avec
tracks,
des sons drum.
turn down the drums, turn up the
C'est
click,
le bass.
get to kind of like the bridge. Bridge go.
Voici la batterie.
And so you can see that I have individual control over each of the tracks because these are 6 separate outputs, so I get multi-track output from the BB.
Je baisse la
I'll route
batterie,
it to
je
wherever you
monte le
want.
clic
I'm
pour aller
routing
au
it to
pont.
my mixer. Pretty awesome. So that's how you organize backing tracks. And you can see I have that done for quite a few tracks in here. So here's one for 500 miles.
Vous voyez,
Same
j'ai un
idea.
contrôle
All the
individuel sur
routing is
chacune
the
des pistes,
same.
car
Everything's
ce sont 6
basically the
sorties
same. You're pretty much
séparées
just gonna do
que
this
je
for
peux
all
router
the
à ma
songs
guise.
that you need. Okay, so next up, we're going to import video and pictures into this so that you can sync up images to your music. So you're going to go up here and you go, instead of audio projects, which is this page that
Ainsi,
we're on right
vous
now, we're
pouvez
going to
gérer
go to
vos pistes
media. And here's
d'accompagnement.
where you're going to start importing your media. So I have like one video up here. You're going to transfer images and videos into here.
Voici
Same
une
idea,
autre
you can drag
chanson.
and drop or just click right here. And I have 2 things I'm going to load up. I'm going to load up a video that I use for my live show and then just a picture. Uploading, you can see it right here, and
Vous pouvez importer des vidéos et des images dans Bebit pour pouvoir les synchroniser avec de la musique. Sur cette page, allons dans Médias pour importer des fichiers multimédia.
Okay, so now that is in here, and now these media files are uploaded. So I have a picture and I have test
Nous
footage.
utilisons
So now I'm
cette
gonna go
image
back
et
to I
cette
write
vidéo.
sins, not tragedies. You can either
Pour le
double-click it or
transfert,
click
la
this edit
procédure est
button
la
right
même que
here.
pour les fichiers audio.
And down here under extra content, this is where you're going to choose your MIDI and your media files from the list. So select media from the list. What video do you want to use? So I'm going to do this one. Obviously, this is just 30 seconds compared to the full song, but I'm going to do set media. And now you see it right here.
Pour
You can
éditer
see
le
how
projet,
long it's gonna
double-cliquez
go.
sur le
If you
titre
get
ou
this
sur
option, you
Edit.
can click loop right here. And now what it's going to do, it's going to loop
Dans la section Contenu
until the end of the
supplémentaire,
song. So it is a
choisissez
30-second
votre MIDI et
clip,
votre
so it's just
média
gonna
dans la
keep
liste.
repeating that 30-second clip until the end of the song, which is pretty cool. Okay, so now I have the HDMI port right here connected to just
Cette
this
vidéo
little
dure
screen.
30
It's just a little
secondes,
screen
donc
that
je
I
clique
use
sur
so I
SET
can monitor
Média et
myself while I'm
sélectionne-le.
filming YouTube videos. Obviously, you would do this on something bigger.
Fonction loop,
But just for
je
this
peux
demo,
jouer
you can
jusqu'à
see
la
it.
fin
So
de
when
la
I go to
chanson.
I write sins, not tragedies and hit play, you can see that the video syncs up with the music. And if I scroll forward, let's see, go to
Au port
about 30
HDMI, j'ai
seconds
connecté
in.
ce petit écran.
That's the end of the loop, and then it goes back and starts all over again. So that it is looping, and it is syncing up to the music in the way that I want.
Alors,
Pretty
je
awesome
vais
that
à
you
la
get
chanson et
this
appuyer sur
option with
play.
this little device. Pretty incredible. But yeah,
La
HDMI
vidéo
out,
se
HDMI
synchronise
in,
avec la
and you can
musique,
sync
et
up your
si je fais
music with
défiler environ
visuals.
30
Pretty
secondes, je
incredible.
vois le fin de la
So that's
boucle,
how you
puis la vidéo
upload videos.
recommence.
And again, you can do the same
Ainsi,
thing. I'm
il
going to
joue en
delete this,
continu
and you can do the
jusqu'à la
same
fin.
thing with an image as well. So this is just a picture of my
Maintenant,
solo
je vous
project.
montre
I'm going to
comment
set that
télécharger une
as the
image.
image, and it will
Par
just display
exemple,
that
je
image.
choisis ceci.
And then here, this is where you're going to upload
Je
your
le
MIDI files.
sélectionne, donc
And I have
Bébit
made just
l'affichera
a
à
test
l'écran
MIDI
avec la
file for
musique.
this, and I'm going to upload that, and then hit save, and it has saved. Obviously, this
Ici,
only
vous
goes
chargez le
so
MIDI
far. I'm
pour
just
envoyer
doing
des
it
signaux
for
à
a
des
demo,
appareils
but
externes.
this shows you how long my
J'ai
MIDI
créé
file
un
is,
court
and it's
fichier de
going to
commande
send
MIDI.
MIDI
Après l'avoir
information
chargé,
to
j'appuie sur Save.
my external devices. So the B-Beat has the MIDI out, and I'm going to connect my devices that I want to control with MIDI. I'm going to be doing this with the HX Stomp, and you can see it will. So you're going to connect your MIDI devices. So this is really interesting. They
Je
chose
connecte
to
les
go with
appareils à la sortie MIDI de
3.5
Bébit.
millimeter MIDI. I'm not really
Ici,
sure why they
j'utilise
did
le
that
HX
instead of
Stomp.
just standard 5-pin MIDI. I'm going to do this wirelessly. So the
B.Bit
WIDI
envoie des
jack
messages à
and the
votre
WIDI
appareil pour
master
lancer des
are
programmes.
awesome wireless MIDI devices, and if you get anything in the WIDI ecosystem, they automatically pair with each other to my HX Stomp. So when I go to iWriteSins, you're going to see what it's going to do. I'm going to just go to a random preset here. It's going to change my preset twice, and then it'll change.
Utilisez le câble MIDI de 3,5 mm de type B pour les connexions.
That's how I have it programmed for this demo. When I hit play, preset 1, preset 2, and that's going to push button 3, and then 2, and then 1.
Ou sans fil avec les
There you
WIDI
go.
Jack
So
et le
all
WIDI
these devices,
Master.
obviously you would do that on a bigger scale. Program all of your devices to go
Maintenant,
with the music.
Bébit
So the way
envoie un
that I
signal
use
MIDI
this
sans
is
fil
that
à mon
this is
HX
like a
Stomp.
clean tone, and then when it goes to the
Pendant le
chorus,
morceau,
I want it
Bébit
to
changera
turn on
2 fois de
distortion, and then
pré-réglage,
when it
comme
goes
si
to
vous
my
appuyez
guitar
sur ces
solo,
boutons.
it goes here, which turns on some delay and reverb and stuff like
Lorsque
that. So I
j'appuie
never
sur
have the
Play,
pedal
le
dance.
préset
My
démarre,
pedal
puis le
syncs
préset
up
2,
directly to
puis
the
le
music,
3,
and I never
puis
have
le
the
2,
pedal dance,
puis le
which
1.
is pretty incredible. So I know that we're talking about MIDI right now, and you might be asking, well, what about lighting? So it doesn't
Vous
have like
pouvez
a
programmer la
DMX
piste
out
MIDI pour
specifically.
synchroniser les
However,
commandes
I
avec
did
la
just release
musique.
a video about how you can use MIDI to control your DMX lights in this device. So now I have all my backing tracks in here, and they are routed out the correct spot. I have my MIDI track imported, and then I have my video track
Ma pédale
imported.
se
So this
synchronise
song
avec
is
la
done.
musique,
And
c'est
basically,
vraiment
you just want to do
confortable.
that. You're going to repeat that process for all the songs that you want to do. Okay, so now
En
you
ce
have all
qui
your
concerne
songs figured out, and
l'éclairage,
you know how
si
to
vous
add
aimez
MIDI and
ça,
stuff
je
like
viens
that.
de
Let's
poster
make
un
some
vidéo sur ma
playlists.
chaîne,
So in
sur
order
la
to
façon dont
playlist,
vous
go up
pouvez
here to
utiliser MIDI
playlists.
pour contrôler vos lumières
Once
via
you're done,
DMX.
let's just create a new one. Let's just call it set 1. And it automatically opens up, and then just start adding projects in here. So let's say I'm going to add these 4, add to the playlist, and then you can rearrange it into whatever order you would like. You can also do this on the device itself, and I'll show you that
Maintenant,
here in a
toutes
little
mes
bit.
pistes
Very, very
d'accompagnement sont
simple. Do another
programmées et les
playlist,
pistes sont
set
affectées aux
2,
sorties.
add the files that you want for set 2.
J'ai importé ma piste
You know, you can
MIDI et ma
have
piste
one
vidéo.
called 90s hits and stuff like that, and you can
Cette
save them
chanson est
that way.
finie.
Should make sense on how to
Je
do
suis
this.
prêt
It's
pour la
very, very
scène.
simple to do that. Okay, so now just some navigation in here. You basically have some options here. So you can either go to your library, your playlist, or your shows up here. And I
Créons
will show
maintenant
you
des
shows
playlists.
that's coming up next, but that's
Cliquez
easier
sur
just to access
Playlist
down
et
here.
nous en
So if you
créons
hit
une nouvelle.
library, you get to see
Je
all
le
the
nomme
songs that you
Définissez
have
en un
in
et
your
commencez à
library. So
ajouter
these
des
are all the ones
projets.
that I have. 24 Karat Magic, 3AM,
Je
and so
choisis
on
ces
and so
4.
forth. And you can choose your song that way. So for
Je
iWriteSins,
clique
I would go
sur
to select
Ajouter
that
à la
one
liste
and
de
push
lecture
play.
et commande les titres.
Something pretty cool with that. So while it's playing, if I go to library
Ensuite, on
and I
voit
want to
aussi comment
say,
le faire
you know,
directement sur le
if I
Bébit.
go to 3 a.m., I can
Très
click
simple
that
en effet.
and set it as next.
Créer
And
une
you'll
autre
see
liste de
right
lecture
here
appelée
that
Set
it
tout et
sets
ajouter
that
les
to the
chansons.
next song. So then as soon as this song is done and I get here towards the end, what it's going to do, it will go to 3 a.m. after that. So that's a pretty cool way to use
Avec les
this.
touches dédiées, vous pouvez accéder à
Something
la
else that's really
bibliothèque,
cool, so let
à
me
la
just go ahead and
playlist
stop
ou au
this
show.
right now. So let's go back to iWriteSins, not Tragedy, since
Je
that's
vais
the
vous
one I was
montrer la
working on.
fonction
And
Show
what
sous
you can
peu.
do is you can go to the
Il
menu
est plus
and you can
facile
see
d'y
the
accéder
level
à
meter.
partir
So you can see
d'ici.
the levels of
Si
everything.
vous appuyez sur
But more
Library,
importantly, you
vous
can
pouvez
edit
voir
the
toutes les
tracks.
chansons
I
du
know that this is
répertoire.
in alphabetical order, so bass, click, cues, drums, and tracks. But let's say that the bass was
Vous
just
pouvez choisir
blaring
votre
loud.
chanson et
I can
appuyer sur
start turning it
PLAY.
down here if I needed to. I could also mute it if I wanted to, and I can enable it
Pendant
to
qu'une
go out
chanson
the
joue,
headphone
si
out
j'entre.
or not the headphone out. So again, that will go out the headphones if it's
Bibliothèque
enabled
est
and will
sélectionnée
not go out the
3AM,
headphones
je
if
peux le
it's
définir comme
disabled.
plus tard.
I can also go into here, so if I screwed up the routing, I can go here and I can say actually put that to output
Donc dès
3.
que cette chanson est terminée, Bébit
You
passera à
know, or
3AM.
output 4, whatever I need it to go to. Super cool that you can do a lot of this in the device itself. So if you screw up, you don't
Maintenant,
need
je vous
the
montre un autre
software to
aspect
fix
vraiment
them.
utile.
That's absolutely brilliant. So let's
Revenons
go
à la
back.
chanson
And again, you can
précédente sur
scroll
laquelle je
forward. I want
travaillais.
to go to, 2 minutes and 20 seconds, and then
Vous
push
pouvez
the
aller dans
button,
le menu et
and
voir
now
le niveau de
continue to
sortie
play
de
from
chaque
there.
piste. Mais surtout, vous pouvez éditer la piste. C'est par ordre alphabétique, donc basse, drum, click, track et guide voix. Supposons maintenant que la basse joue à plein régime. Si nécessaire, baissez le volume ou mettez-le en sourdine. Vous pouvez activer la sortie casque.
And I can say, what do I want to add to it? So let's add 24 karat, add 3am, and
Depuis
then
cet
add
écran, je
Billie
peux gérer les
Jean,
sorties.
and I can move it around if I
Puis-je
want to as
affecter la
well. So let's
piste
actually
à la
say I
sortie
want Billie
3
Jean
ou à la
first,
sortie 4?
and then back out of it. But now I have a new playlist, and so I can go into the
Vous
playlist,
pouvez
and then
effectuer ces
it's
modifications
here. And the thing
directement
that's
depuis
nice
le
about this,
Bebit.
so when I push play, it automatically has a 24 karat magic
Revenons
assigned.
maintenant à
Now,
l'écran
it gives you
précédent
an
et faisons
indicator,
défiler la
where you're
chanson.
at in the song. This is the
Si je
playlist
veux
that
aller
you're
à
on, so listen
2h20
to
et
my
appuyer sur
playlist.
le bouton du
And the
milieu,
next song
la
coming
lecture de la
up
piste
is
se
24
poursuivra à
karat. I
partir
can
de ce
push
point.
skip if I want to skip that and say OK, and we'll go to the
Si
next
vous avez
song
besoin de
instead.
rembobiner,
Very,
faites
very
tourner
cool
la roue
how
du
it does
milieu
that.
et
So even
appuyez
if
une
there's
fois
a
sur
song that's
stop pour
not
faire une
in the
pause,
playlist
ou
and I
deux
want to
fois
add
pour
it into
revenir
the
au début du
library, I
morceau.
can still do that and set it as the next song. 500 miles, I could click it and say set
Appuyez
as
sur le
next,
bouton
and it
playlist.
will put that into the set list. It doesn't actually add that into the actual playlist, but it will add it
Vous
as the
pouvez créer
next
une nouvelle
song.
liste
So
de
you're not
lecture et
just stuck
sélectionner les
on
chansons
that
à inclure.
playlist exactly. Super smart.
Par
Got this
exemple,
thing. They
ajoutons ces
really
trois.
thought this thing out. You have this live button right here. So when you enter live mode,
Je peux aussi
you
changer
can't
l'ordre
do anything
d'exécution.
else. So see, if I try to do it, it'll say, do you want to exit from live mode? Hit cancel. If I try to hit menu, it won't do it. If I try to hit any of these other buttons, it won't let me
Lorsque j'appuie
do
sur
that. The
PLAY,
only
il
options
joue
I
Billie
have
Jean et
are
affiche ensuite
play
la
and
magie
stop.
24K.
I can't fast forward or anything.
Sur l'écran, nous voyons le
can't
point de
rewind or
lecture,
anything.
le
I can
titre de
do
la
stop
playlist,
and
la chanson
play,
suivante et le bouton
because then I
skip
can push
pour
it
passer à la
again to get
suivante.
out of it, and then I can fast forward. So no one will accidentally bump something and change something around if you don't want them to. Couple controls
Je
right
peux
here. So
aussi
you do
choisir
have
une
master
chanson qui n'est pas dans
control
la
over your
playlist
backing
et
tracks.
définissez-le
Just
comme
the
suivant
backing
pour
tracks, you can
l'insérer
turn
dans la
up or
liste de
down.
lecture.
You can turn the click up or down, and you can turn the master volume up and down. You do get this line in here as well. You do have two separate ports here on the side that you have
La
for
chanson ne
input.
sera
I
pas
don't
ajoutée à la liste
personally
de
really use
lecture,
that, but if
tout
you
comme
are
la chanson
getting an
suivante.
input of something, you have volume control right there as well. Something else really smart, they
Avec
do
le
have this
bouton
input
live,
for a
vous
pedal
pouvez
right
bloquer
here.
toutes les
You
fonctions du
probably would only
Bebit.
need one button for this, but it's just a
Si
foot
j'essaie
controller that I
d'apporter
use
des
with my HX
modifications,
Top, but it
le
does the same
système me
thing.
demande si
When
je
you
veux
plug it in
quitter le mode
here, so
direct.
you can see right now it's playing.
Si j'essaie d'appuyer sur le menu ou sur
Push
d'autres
it, now it
boutons,
stops
la
or
fonction ne démarre
pauses it.
pas.
Push it again, and now it resumes. You don't get it
Les
to
seuls
where,
boutons que je
where you
peux
push
utiliser
stop
sont
twice,
PLY
and it
et
stops
stop.
it. It's just play and then pause. So pretty helpful. So going deeper than
En
this,
appuyant
you
à
can
nouveau
actually
sur
do
le
something
bouton
called
live, je désactive
shows
le
and
blocage.
scenes. So shows and scenes are basically just a way to organize if you're going to be on a specific
Il n'y a
show.
donc
Your
aucun risque
show is,
d'appuyer
it's
accidentellement
going to
sur les
start
boutons.
here, it's going to end here, not really going to change much. This would be the way to do
Les
that.
commandes
So the first thing you
principales sont
actually have to
situées
do
en
is you have
bas,
to make
ce qui facilite les
scenes.
réglages
So you can have
fréquents.
no scenes in here. So you're just going to click create a new scene. Let's just call this YouTube.
Vous pouvez
And then when
augmenter
you're
ou
in
diminuer
this
les pistes
scene, what you
d'accompagnement,
do
le
is you
clic et le
have
volume
add
principal.
a slot to the scene.
Avec
So you
l'entrée
can do
Line in
audio
de Bebit,
project, you can do
avec
just
deux
the
ports séparés.
metronome, you can do just media,
Vous
and
pouvez
you can do
recevoir une
silence.
entrée et
So
pouvoir
most of
régler
the
son
time,
volume.
you're probably going to choose a song. So let's say the show is going to start with 3 a.m., add to scene. Next part is going
Une
to
autre
go into 24
fonctionnalité
karat magic,
intéressante est l'entrée
add a
pour une
scene.
pédale.
And then after that, 500 miles and so on and so forth. So this is all going to put it in order. Now you do get this option of you can say stop between
Maintenant,
or
le
just go
fichier est en cours de
immediately into
lecture.
the next song and you can set a delay. So if you want, a
Si j'appuie une
5
fois
second
sur la
delay between
pédale,
it
le
so that you
Bebit
can
s'arrête.
introduce
Si j'appuie à
something or
nouveau,
something like
il
that,
reprend.
you have that option. What it's going to do, it's going to play 3 a.m. and then it's going to
Les
wait 5
fonctions que vous
seconds and
pouvez utiliser
automatically
sont
play
PLY
24
et
karat, and then
pause.
it's going to pause. So once 24 karat magic is over, you have to push the play button in order to start 500 miles.
Show et scène
Really
sont
cool
deux
just to
façons de
make
mieux
the show
organiser votre
flow
live.
really well. So now let's add another scene. Let's say we're going to do a metronome at 120 beats per minute for 30 seconds or something like that. This could be useful if you play to a song without any backing tracks, but you just want to play to like a click track. You could just do video as well. So if you just wanted to show some video, this clip
Cliquez
is 30
sur Créer
seconds
une nouvelle
long, so
scène,
that
par
there's
exemple
something
en la
going
nommant
on
YouTube.
while you're talking to the crowd. And then, we're going to start
Ajoutons
levitating after
maintenant un
that,
slot
and
à
we're
la
going to
scène.
start immediately after that. And
Vous pouvez
then
insérer un
let's
projet
sing some
audio, un métronome,
tragedies
une vidéo et des
right after
images
that.
ou une section
And then I'm just going to
silencieuse.
have, just blank, just some silence for 15 seconds.
Insérons maintenant une chanson. Supposons que le
And we
spectacle
end with
commence à
Billie
3 heures
Jean.
du matin.
So now you have this entire
Je le
show mapped out.
sélectionne
It's
et
going to
l'ajoute à la
follow
scène.
this sequence right here. And you can see
Ensuite,
that this is
nous
a
entrons dans 24K
23-minute
Magic,
show. So this is
500
really
miles
just like,
et
I
ainsi de
have,
suite.
we have a half-hour set.
Ainsi,
So I
tout
need
sera
to
entré
add
dans
a
l'ordre.
little bit more into it.
Vous pouvez également indiquer au Bebit de s'arrêter entre les chansons ou entrer un temps de retard. Par exemple, insérons un délai de 5 secondes entre deux chansons. Il jouera alors 3 heures du matin, attendra 5 secondes et jouera automatiquement 24K Magic, puis s'arrêtera. Fini 24K Magic, vous devez appuyer sur PLY pour jouer 500 miles. Ajoutons un autre slot avec un métronome à 120 BPM pendant 30 secondes. Vous pouvez également insérer une vidéo pour un arrière-plan sur l'écran tout en parlant au public. Peu de temps après, nous insérons une autre chanson. Ensuite, j'insère un espace silencieux pendant 15 secondes. Et enfin, terminons avec Billy Jean. Maintenant, le spectacle est complet. Cette séquence de 23 minutes va jouer. J'ajoute des chansons pour arriver à 30 minutes.
Okay, so let's do shows. So you can either get to that here or you can just click shows and you can see that here. Something that's interesting is you can also just get to your scenes
Je
and
peux
trigger
également
your
ajouter
scenes.
d'autres
So these
médias
are
à la
the two
scène.
scenes right here. Just me personally, I find
J'ajoute mon
myself
logo
gravitating
qui
more
s'affichera à
towards just
l'écran,
triggering
à moins que
scenes,
l'une des
'cause
parties
again, you can
individuelles
just
de la
trigger,
scène
here's
est
the
une
YouTube
vidéo.
scene, and now it's going to start there. It's just playing this scene. If I wanted to
Dans
load
ce cas,
Scott's
le
YouTube
système
Amazing
remplacera le
Show,
logo de la
it
scène
would
avec la
play through
vidéo du
YouTube
projet
and
audio.
then set to. But I do find myself just gravitating towards playing scenes instead. So you have shows or scenes. I'm just going to trigger the YouTube
C'est
scene.
toute
So
la
I press
scène.
play, and you can see that my logo's playing. So that's my logo for my original music. I'll link to it up above and down below if you do want to check
Je
it
crée
out.
une autre
Shameless
scène avec la même
promotion. But what's going
procédure.
to happen is, so now, if you remember, I had it set so when the song ended, it would do a 5-second delay. So in
J'ai
5-second
préparé deux scènes
transition, and then
différentes,
it's going to load
YouTube
24
et
karat
Set2.
magic after that.
Après
And
avoir
there you go.
configuré les
And it says
scènes,
the next
vous
one is
pouvez créer
500
un show.
miles. If I do want to skip that, I can push skip. Say, okay,
Par
I don't want to
exemple,
do that.
il
It's
s'agit
going to
de
go to the
Scott's
metronome.
Amazing
I
YouTube
said, I
Show
don't want to go to the metronome, but I want to go to this, video file or whatever.
et
if I
ajouter
have to.
scène au show.
So again, when the song is over,
Je commence par YouTube puis
hit the
Set2.
end here, and it'll automatically go to the next thing,
Vous
which is
pouvez
just a
modifier
video
l'ordre des
file.
scènes à votre guise.
No music or anything like that. And it loads up the footage
Bebit,
right
il
here.
jouera la
You
scène
do get some
YouTube puis
indicators.
Set2.
It'll say there's no transition into levitating. It will not pause. It will just automatically load
Je clique sur le
levitating.
bouton affiché et je vois la scène YouTube que je joue.
Same with the next song. It'll
J'appuie sur
automatically
Play et le
load
logo
I
s'affiche
Write
à
Songs About
l'écran.
Tragedies, which again, I do have this video set on a loop for that one. So it overrides the logo and it'll do
Après
the
la première
video.
chanson,
And then you
il y
see
aura
this,
une
it
pause de
says
5
man,
secondes,
which
puis la
stands
magie
for
24K
manual.
jouera
So
selon
when it
vos
gets to the
paramètres.
end of the song, now it pauses and it's waiting for me to physically push the button. So I have to push play. Kind of silly that I put silence
Je
here,
peux
but
sauter
that's
la
okay.
chanson
But
suivante
you
et le
have
métronome pour
whatever the
accéder
next
à la
song is, you
vidéo.
have to physically push play.
Sur l'écran,
Or I
vous voyez
manually
l'icône
have
avec
to
0.
push play.
Cela
So
indique
that's good
qu'il
if
n'y
you
a pas de
have
transition
moments
vers
where
la
you
chanson
want to talk to
suivante.
the crowd, or if you want it to just instantly go into the next song. So in order to trigger Dirty Little Secret, I have to push the play button, and then it will start.
MAN
that.
signifie
Pretty cool.
manuel.
I love that it gives you that option. Kind of
Terminez la
spur of the
chanson,
moment, a little
Bebit
more
s'arrête et je
structure
dois
and
appuyer sur
super
Play
structured.
manuellement.
And also, you do have just a metronome if you do want to
Avec
have
Bebit,
just a
vous
quick
pouvez
track
créer un show
going,
manuel,
like I mentioned,
semi-structuré
of a
ou
song
super
that doesn't have
structuré.
tracks or something like that. Truly is. They
Vous
really,
pouvez
really
également
thought
choisir des
this
pistes à
device
partir
out.
d'une clé
Very,
USB.
very cool. So one, using that USB port that I use to connect to it wirelessly to my computer, you actually can connect like a USB drive to that and run backing tracks off of it that way if you prefer
C'est une
as well,
fonction
which
utile
is
pour
pretty
lire des
cool if you
pistes
need to play
d'accompagnement à
backing
la
tracks
volée.
in a pinch. And then last but not least, while I was working on
Enfin,
this
avec la
video,
nouvelle mise à
they
jour
came
du
out with a
firmware,
firmware
il est
update,
possible de
and I
télécharger
updated
des
it,
fichiers
and they
PDF.
added a new feature. It's not even listed in the manual, at least of the one that I have yet, but it's super cool. It's with a PDF, so I never addressed the PDF. So you can drag in PDFs into your files, and you can save them into multiple categories.
Vous pouvez
So you
insérer
can
des
import
PDF
like
avec des
4 different
partitions pour chaque
PDFs for
chanson
one
et vous pouvez
song,
les
and you
insérer
can
dans
put them in
différents
different
groupes.
groups. Let's just say just vocals, keyboards, guitar, and bass. The singer would see probably just lyrics. Keyboard player would probably see sheet music.
Ici, nous avons
And then the
voix,
guitar player and bass
clavier,
player would
guitare
probably
et
see chord
basse.
charts. So once you've done that, you can also go into the
Chaque
timeline
musicien
and you
verra
can
la
say
partition
when the
qui lui est dédiée.
PDF is going to change. So it'll go
Charger
from
des
PDF
fichiers dans le
page 1,
projet et
and then when
modifier
it
la
needs to switch
chronologie
to
pour
page 2,
indiquer
it'll
quand
switch to
changer de
page
page.
2. at the exact moment in the song that it needs to do that. And then you download their teleprompter
Connectez-vous au
app
Bebit
and you
avec
connect to it
l'application
via
Prompter pour
Wi-Fi, just
afficher les
like we did at the
partitions.
beginning of this video. And then on your singer's phone or iPad, they would connect to this
Les
app.
musiciens
They would
pourront
connect to
télécharger
Wi-Fi
l'app
and
sur
they
leur
would choose the
téléphone ou leur
vocal one.
iPad, ils
They would
choisiront le
display
fichier
all their
dédié.
lyrics, and then the keyboard player would see all the sheet music, and the guitar player would see all of the chord charts. They would go to their correct group or their correct family. It was brand new. I could not get it to work as of the time of this video. However, I'm more than willing to bet that they're going to have this fixed
Je
within a
suis
couple
vraiment
of
bluffé
weeks.
par
I'm
cet outil.
willing to bet that. That even takes
C'est
it
un
to another
appareil
level.
vraiment
It's really
intéressant et il
unbelievable.
résout de
They
nombreux
really thought
problèmes
this
que l'on
thing
peut
out.
rencontrer lors
I'm
de
truly blown
performances
away
live.
with this thing, and I'm incredibly grateful that they sent it to me to check out. This is such a cool device, and
Je le recommande à
it
tous les
solves a
musiciens.
problem I think a lot of musicians could be interested in checking out.